All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another Freedom Fridays. I'm so excited to be connecting with you today. I want to start off by first welcoming all my replay people. I know that not everybody is going to be able to join at 12 noon live. So I wanted to start just a couple minutes early for my replay people to welcome you. Hey, I'm so glad you're here. I hope that you will join me every week, but let me tell you why we're here. We are here because we are Black women who are corporate professionals, entrepreneurs who want to have work life balance and lifestyle freedom. And this session is one of the ways that we start creating it very tangibly by setting up our schedule every single week for success. So, what that looks like is first, we celebrate our wins, and then we take some time to set up our schedule for next week. Like we literally put it in our calendar. And when we do that, we make sure we schedule in time for rest, time for fun, time for daydreaming, and just being still. And then we start working on winding down for the weekend. And we have a couple things that we do together to help us do that. So that is exactly what we are going to do here in this week's session. I wanted to first get us started by talking about a little bit of a topic. So, one of the things that I have found as I have been building this lifestyle is that sometimes it can be really easy to get caught up in the shoulds. We get caught up in feeling like our lifestyle should look a certain way, or that we just have to take what life tells us we have to take. And that's not true. That's a complete, absolute lie. So that's why today's topic, I really wanted to talk about there is no one size fits all version of freedom, of lifestyle freedom, or any of the freedoms that we want. There's no one size fits all. You get to choose exactly what you want, and you get to create any combination of it because it's about choosing what's fulfilling to you, not trying to do what you think you should do or what your parents say you should do, or culture or the American dream says you should do. You get to choose it for yourself. So, Black women, the question at the beginning of this call today is, what does Black freedom, or excuse me, what does freedom look like for you? So it can be a range of things. It could be, so I'll tell you what mine is. Freedom for me looks like having a lifestyle where I have a ability to be in Pittsburgh at the last minute when my mom seems a little off and I need to go take her to the doctor and help her get moved, even though that wasn't planned. But it's also being able to be in Long Beach the week before and realizing that it doesn't disrupt my life. It doesn't disrupt me making money. I'm still able to show up fully as myself, and give and be a part of the people that I care the most about, being able to be in their lives. At a drop of a dime without having to ask for time off. I remember when there was a point when if I would have had a trip like I just had, so last week or the week before I was in Long Beach, as soon as I got back from that trip, I called my mom and realized that I needed to come home to Pittsburgh. If I was still in my corporate job, I would have had to make a really hard decision. I would have had to sacrifice something. I would have had to either sacrifice um getting paid for that week. I would have had to take it as no pay so that I didn't, mess up my vacation days, or I would have had to get rid of my vacation because I didn't have enough vacation days and I would have needed to use it for personal reasons, or I wouldn't have been able to make it here to help my mom and I would have just had to send somebody else to come and help her. All of those would have been win-lose situations. But because I put on my vision board, I created a vision of a life where I wanted the lifestyle freedom to be able to workcation, to still make money on my own terms, to go wherever I wanted to, at a drop of a dime, to live my life fully as I saw fit. then I was able, then because I put that on my board and I build a life around that, I've been able to have that freedom to be able to be here. And it's been great. Now, don't get me wrong, my mom has been tiring. If you've been watching my stories on Instagram, she has been a whole journey. She's been a whole adventure this week. But I get to be present for that. I get to enjoy that. That is what makes me fulfilled, is being a part of her life and being here for those moments. So, what does freedom look like for you? I want you to be able to choose for yourself. So, if you have never done this, I want you to just get a pen and paper out and put the question at the top. What does freedom at the end of this year look like? And I think as we continue to evolve, what freedom looks like is going to evolve for us. So why not go ahead and keep writing it down and letting it evolve and keep carving out? It's like having a straight cement block and then carving out what that life looks like for us. So I hope you'll take a second to do that. If you do, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what life you're carving out to have by the end of this 2024. And that being said, I just did a whole series on how to create a vision board. Once you do that, check out that series so you can build a vision board that really works. That's going to help you take action to create that life once you get done. So, all right, that's my thing for today. I want to go ahead and welcome some people. I'm so excited. Mimi is here today. Meg is here today. Hey, Meg. Hey, Mimi. It's so nice to have you here. I think there are a couple of people over on Instagram as well. Hey, Caffey Co. Seminaire. Hey, Mr. Cellophane. I'm so glad that you guys got a chance to join. I'm excited to have you here. So, we are officially past the 12 o'clock mark. So let's go ahead and get started on our Freedom Fridays event for today. So we're going to start off by celebrating our wins. Take a second. If you have not yet done this, I want you to go to my website and download the worksheet. The worksheet is freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. In that worksheet, it's going to give you a wonderful place for you to fill out all the boxes and have all the questions that we're going to talk through today on this call. So I would love for you to go ahead and get that worksheet completely free to you, so that you can fully participate and follow along without worrying about writing down the questions or scribbling away during this call today. Okay. Oh, we got a couple more hays. Hey, Lori James. So nice to have you here from New Jersey. I love New Jersey. I got a good friend over there from a high school. And then Mimi said, to answer your question. Ooh, yes, answer that question, Mimi. Tell me. I'm hoping to create a life of location independent, or excuse me, I'm hoping to create location independence life this year. Yes, come on. This lifestyle where we get to live life however we want, wherever we want, without having to be tied down to one place. It took me a while to realize that that was one of the things that I was missing. Like when I was in college, you go back and forth from home to school, and it creates this adventure, even though you're only going back and forth between two places. Um, it was still this variety of kind of having something new. And I missed that after when I got to my job. And I was like, wait, this is the only place that I work every day, all day. Like I don't go anywhere else unless it's 1 week on a vacation. Man, and I was like, I need more than that. I love travel so much. There's so much of the world to see. I need more than that. So I completely understand wanting location independence. Come on. I love that, Mimi. I can't wait to see how you build that out this year. Lovely. Okay. So glad to be having all of you guys here. So now that we're getting into celebrating our wins, I hope you took that second to go ahead and download the worksheet at freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. Let's go ahead and celebrate our wins. So go ahead and write them in the chat for me. I'd love to shout you out. I want to celebrate your wins with you because listen, it's so much better to celebrate the wins together. And believe me, I get excited about every single win. So go ahead and start putting those in the chat, and I'll start sharing mine while you're dropping those in there. So my number one win for this week is being able to be in Pittsburgh and to be able to show up for my mom. She has loved it. My mom is turning 79 this year. And I have a 96-year-old grandma too, but my mom is just in a very interesting place. It's really weird for me to recognize as I'm turning 40 this year, I'm no longer really a young adult. I'm an adult. And when you kind of shift into that, and sometimes we have to do that earlier than this time, but we kind of have to be our parents' parent. And it's been a very interesting experience to transition into that. But I'm glad that I was able to be physically here and to be present. I didn't have to try and do that from afar because I was tied down into my corporate job. So that's a huge, huge win for me. I'm really feeling the depth and the blessing of that. Oh, hey, she grows in Greenville. Hello from South Carolina. So nice to have you here. I'm glad that you could join today. Yes, if you get a chance, go ahead and share your wins down in the chat. I would love, love, love to hear what your wins are. Okay, so that's my first win, is being able to be present here in Pittsburgh. My second win this week, I am a business owner. And so while there are times where I take vacation, 9 times out of 10, I'm really balancing my life that I have both mutually working. So I've been able to keep up with my habits, with my life systems this week, and it's been great. Now, last week, I was very intentional about making sure, hey, you're going to be, last Friday, I knew that I was coming here. So I was like, I know I'm going to have to set aside some time to be with my mom. So I set up my schedule so that I did all my deep work stuff in the morning and any other priority things that I need to do in the morning so that I could spend the afternoon with her. And even though I've been a little tired because my mom had a lot of things that she wanted to do, which is funny because I was just here in November. It wasn't like it was that long ago, but it's because she moved, which is fine. So I made sure that I set my schedule up so that I had time to do my deep work in the morning, and that allowed me to be super prepared, not to overbook myself, and so that in the morning when I was working, I could feel confident and really dialed in on the work that I was doing. And then in the afternoon, when I was hanging out with my mom, I could feel really confident and dialed in on hanging out with my mom. I didn't have my mind straddled in either place. I could be fully present in this place, fully present in work, or fully present in life, not trying to do both. And that was so freeing for me. It's made it so much easier to keep up on my responsibilities and to also just experience my life while I'm here. So that's my second win from this week. Super huge for me. I got a lot of huge wins this week. Let me see. The third win for this week, I went ahead, since it was last minute, and I would usually fly to Pittsburgh, but I decided to drive just because I knew the flight to any flight less than 3 weeks. If you don't know this is a great tip. If you ever buy a flight less than 3 weeks before your flight date, it's going to be astronomically high. It didn't used to be like that, but it is like that now. And so since I just found this out last week, I was like, there's no way I'm going to want to pay for that ticket. I might as well go drive, especially because when I get there, I know she's going to need things and I know she's having issues with her car. Let me just make sure I'm prepared so that I can, get around to do all those things. And it's been really great having that car and that flexibility without inconveniencing my sister or anybody else to use their car while I'm here. So that's been super helpful as well. So yes, those are my 3 wins this week. I should also say my mom got to my mom has traveled all over the world. That's one of the things she's instilled in me since I was a child. And we set up her, or I set up the case for her, but she set up her bells. Okay. Okay, I think I'm back here. Sorry about that. Oh, the joys of traveling when is staying on here. So glad that you were able to say. Okay, good. So let me go ahead and read some of these amazing comments down here. So Meg, you said, I'm turning 40 next month. I'm just now feeling like I'm figuring out what I want for my life. Hey, that's not too late. That's amazing. And I think that's part of it. Like, I can honestly say there were things that I thought I wanted from my life, even younger. But the older that I've gotten and the more that I've gotten to know myself on a deeper level and different parts of myself, I'm feeling like I just not really know what I want to. And this is a great time for you to start writing it down, Meg. Like for one, kudos for being okay with that. You're not behind, like you haven't missed anything. This is the perfect time to start figuring out what you want and writing it down and start building a life around that. And you still have plenty of time. A lot can happen in 10 years that can drastically change your whole life. It's a beautiful thing. So I hope that makes you excited. Let me know if that was something that was like, I don't know how I feel about this, or is that like, oh, I'm very excited that I finally know what I want for my life. Okay. I would love to hear that. And then Mimi says, or Child Free with Mimi says, at Meg, that's real. Do you notice a difference in how you feel now compared to before? That's a really good question, Mimi. Do you notice how much life feels different now that you're able to know this is what I want from life? And does that encourage you, or how do you feel about that? Again, I would love to hear it. Oh, and then you started to answer. I love this. Come on, y'all. I love this with the conversation. Get it. Meg said, kind of. I still sometimes feel so young and so old at the same time. I get that. But I am more clear on what I want, just not how to get it. Girl, then we should talk, because I am all about helping us figure out how to get the life that we want. And look, that's exactly that's exactly what I'm all about. Oh yes, so Mimi said we lost me. Yes, I'm sorry about that. Hopefully the connection should be good going forward, and we're back. I love it. Okay, and then Child Free with Mimi said, Meg P, I think it helps once we remove the pressure to have it all figured out. Exactly. I feel like there's an expectation for us to have it all together by a certain age, when life is not set up that way. Y'all are talking everything. I just wrote a whole like script for my next YouTube video that's coming out this Wednesday exactly about this topic. I love this. I don't think you have to have it all figured out either. I think there's a beauty of taking everything that you currently have in your mind as things that you feel like you want and writing them down, because when you get them out of your mind and you get to see them like front and center in front of your face, you get to pull out some themes of these are the values that are most important in my life. These are the things that I want to prioritize. And as long as I'm living those high level themes, there's a different way that those things can manifest, you know? But you don't really get to see those until you start putting the things that you think you want today, right now, get them out of your mind and get them down on paper. And that's what's going to help you start seeing those themes. So that was really huge for me. That's how I actually started creating vision boards, was because I wanted to get the things that I thought I wanted my life to be about out of my mind and down on paper. And sometimes I would put them down on paper and say, you know what? I think that was actually something that I think my grandma said I should do. Like when I look at it right now, I don't feel super connected to it. I felt like it was something I felt like I should do. But on paper, I was like, I don't actually want that. And that helped me really narrow it down and really kind of refine what I actually wanted and start building my life around that and create. That's how I got to the theme of wanting lifestyle freedom. So I hope that, let me know how that feels, if that helps for you. Oh, we got some more comments here. Meg P says, at Child Free with Mimi, I agree. That pressure's been put on us since forever, I feel like. We're supposed to have our lives planned out when we start college. And there's no way. I didn't have my life planned out. I wish that I would have had a life coach like me in high school, but I didn't. And I still would have not known everything. There's no way in the world. I totally agree. Oh, Rashida, come back. I'm back. I'm back. Yes. Love this. Oh, I love this too. She Grows in Greenville says, I love this convo. Definitely feel the same at Meg. Hopefully technology is getting its life together. I'm trying to switch back over to the Wi-Fi. Having some technical difficulties trying to give the Wi-Fi. Oh, I think we're connected. I think we're connected. So we got a couple people over on Instagram who's joined. Hey, Maya Spikes writes. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Mimi. We got another Mimi over there. Hopefully, we're finally back to being fully connected because this is such a dang conversation. This is a vibe. Okay, sounds good now. Okay, good. 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 I'm happy to hear that. Cause I was sad. Like, listen, we can't have that. I'm glad we're back. Okay, good. So again, I was saying if you have a chance to write your wins in the chat, I would love to celebrate them with you. But I'm also gonna go ahead. So for the people over in Instagram, I'm going to go ahead and end that live because we're moving into the part of this session where we're moving into the part of the session where I'm showing my screen, and that just doesn't work well on a vertical show up. So if you want to do the rest of the co-planning session with us, I'm gonna need you to head over to either Facebook, you could head over to LinkedIn, you could also head over to YouTube. That is the main place that I would love to connect with you. But we're going to go ahead and cut off the YouTube, the Instagram live, and keep the YouTube live running because you're not going to be able to see the next part of the session. So I invite you to go ahead and come on over right now. Okay? All right. All right. So now that that's all disconnected, it's just us. Continue without Instagram live. There we go. Maybe that'll now even make this work even better. So let's go ahead. Let's keep going. So now that we've celebrated our wins, oh, good. It says we are in there now. Good, good, good. I'm happy to hear that. Let's go ahead to our next point, which is reflecting on this week. So let me get myself together here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my iPad screen and I'm going to turn on some music, and we are going to work through the next part of the worksheet together right here, right now. Like, let's do it together because this is all about reflecting about what work that we've done this week, what things that we not get done. We already celebrated our wins. Now let's look at the things that we didn't accomplish. Let's close this. There we go. Let's look at the things that we didn't accomplish and start setting ourselves up to have a list of things that we're going to schedule for next week so we know exactly what we need to prioritize for next week and go from there. So as you can see, this was my simplified vision board that I decided to use. And I got it here on my screen. I look at it all the time. But for you, I'm going to be opening up my my note-taking app, which I use. What is this that I use? Lord have mercy. I use, what is this called? GoodNotes. Lord have mercy. I can't talk today. And so GoodNotes is just an annotation app where you can write on PDFs if you don't want to print it out. And it's easy that's what makes my life easy as a person who travels all the time. I don't want to carry paper, but I still want to do the exercise. So that's why I do it this way. Let me check the comments. It says, it's wild that my old comment popped up like that. It is kind of wild. I don't even know what that was about, but you always got good comments, so I'm good with that, and that's okay. All right. So here's what I'm doing. I'm opening up. You can see I have all the different worksheets, and I have a template here down at the bottom. So what I do is I copy that template, and let me see. And then I put that template with the new date. So this is an old one that I've used already. So I'm going to open. Now the template, if you do this correctly, you will make the template before you start copying it over. I haven't been so great at that. So, sometimes there's still stuff from last week in the template. But let me go back. Before I change it, I'm going to hit the down button and I'm going to give this today's date. So today is 3/14/24, so that I will know which week. And as you can see, I'm keeping all of these as I go. So you already done this first section. Yes, this is the clean template. Look at me being on track today. Clean template. So we just looked at the things that we're celebrating from this week, and then we're creating a list of the things that we didn't get done for this week. So if you didn't get things done, you're going to write them here. The way that I like to do this, though, is I use my favorite planner called Sensama. And the reason I like to use Sensama is because instead of having to write this full list, of course it wants to sign me in. God, everything today. Nothing wants to just work like it's supposed to. Okay, good. It's still here. So what I love about Sensama is everything that I didn't check off my list as I went throughout the week from my planning, it's now on this Friday. It's now all at the top of the list on Friday. So I can immediately see what things I didn't accomplish from this week. And it just makes this whole process a lot more simple because I don't have to go back and scroll through my Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, or Monday to see what things I didn't get done. They're already here on this list. Okay, so if you ever want to try Sensama, go ahead. I have a link in the bottom where you're going to get 30 days for free to try it out. And if you don't like it, don't use it. It's fine. But if it works for you, it's been what's worked for me because it keeps my systems on track. It keeps my planning simple and it keeps everything in one place for me. So I'm going to stop talking now. You're going to take some time and you're going to write your list of all the things you didn't get done for this week. Now, here's the thing. If you didn't plan for last week and you don't have a to-do list for last week, just take a couple minutes here and just write a list. Oh, I know I didn't get this done. I know I didn't get that done. So that you can have an idea of what are those things that you're going to have to work with, okay? So take a couple seconds to do that. Let me put some music on there. Now, once you have that list, you can see there are some things that I do have filled in here. The next thing that I want you to do is once you have that list, you're going to come over to this next page of the worksheet and you're going to decide what are your next steps to do for that task. For example, create and schedule promotional content. That is connected to an actual video that I've done and I didn't get a chance to do that yet. So I still want to do that. So I'm going to make sure I schedule that in for next week. So you're deciding based on the task that you have left, how are you going to take action on them next week? Looking at how they're going to be organized in this page on the worksheet, okay? Okay. So I'm going to stop the music while we're finishing up those just last couple seconds here. There's a couple things that I wanted to point out. So as I was going through my worksheet today, I wrote down a trend that I noticed. Ooh, that switched. Let me go back. I want to go back to that. Hold on one second. Okay, because it changes automatically. So one thing that I wanted to call out about this is that I noticed a trend in that I've been having a hard time creating enough time to do these couple tasks that are at the top of my list. So rather than just bullying myself into doing it or feeling bad for not getting them done, this is one of the times where I want to be intentional about going back to my time and energy budget to say, hey, something is not getting enough time. Maybe it's the task before this that's not getting enough time, or these are not getting enough time for me to actually get them done, or maybe something is just taking up too much of my energy. And so when it's time to do these, I don't feel like doing them. And so that time and energy budget is like my way that I can go back and say, what are the other things that are competing for time when it comes to these tasks? And are they high enough on the priority list that I need to move some things around and give myself more time and energy to do them? Or is it something that I take off the list? Well, these are important enough to me that I need to prioritize them. So, offline and using my anti superhero toolkit, I am going to go back and update my time and energy budget so that I can better make sure I have time on a weekly basis to do these tasks, because these are promotional and marketing tasks that are going to help bring all of you lovely people to come hang out with me. So that's important to me. So that was one thing that I noticed about this week that I wanted to call out to you guys. Also, I'm going to update this worksheet. I want to be better at every week making sure I'm choosing a focus for the week. And I want to make sure I write that down. So I wrote it down for this week. My focus for this week is to update my time and energy budget and to really put it into practice and pay attention of where I'm spending more time on things and less time on other things, so that I can be intentional about budgeting my time and energy well. I am a serial overbooker. I always think that I can get things done in less time than it actually takes. Am I the only one? So this is why I started doing this practice, because it has been such a tangible way for me to keep myself in check, to hold myself accountable to not overbooking myself. So if that sounds like you, if you relate to that and that's something you want to check out, please make sure you check out the Anti Superhero Toolkit. The link is down in the description, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it at the end today. All right, so now that I pointed out those two things, let's go ahead and jump into the next section, which is actually going ahead and setting up our schedule for next week. So in that, you're going to have 20 minutes, and you're going to see this on my screen. 20 minutes where you're actually going to set up your schedule in your calendar. Now, you can use an analog planner, you can use a digital planner, you can use Google Calendar, you can use my favorite planner, Sunsama, you could use any version of planner you want. As long as you're taking some time to go ahead and set up your schedule, what are the things that you need to accomplish this week? Time block that time and get it all set up. And then make sure you double check, go back and add in time for rest, for fun, for breaks, for meals, all of those things that we don't really think about how much time it takes to get it done. Block it all in, and then you have a complete schedule that's allowing you to prioritize rest and work, because you're literally scheduling it in your schedule. Okay, that's what we're doing right now. Now, that being said, there was a comment that came through. Let me check. The comment says, I'm going to go back through the Anti Superhero Toolkit again this weekend, because I definitely relate to what you said about being a serial overbooker. Yes, I'm not the only one. I'm so glad I'm not the only one, because I am definitely that person that always thinks I can do more when I really can. All right, so I'm switching my 10 million screens. You see, I got so many screens I need to close down today. We didn't get to that part yet, so don't judge me. Don't judge me. But as you can see right now, I've got my to-do list for the week and I'm getting ready to start scheduling it in my calendar. So I am going to switch back for a second here because I'm going to put on the music. I'm going to talk through a little bit of what I'm doing, but for the most part, this is the time for you to go ahead and put it in your calendar. And if, one of my tips help you, great. And if not, that's okay. So we got about 18 minutes to get our schedule set up for next week. All right, so got the music playing. I'm getting back to my calendar. So one of the first things, I still have my iPad in front of me. That was where I wrote down my priorities so that I can make sure they get translated into my calendar. And actually, I did these two things so I could go ahead and clear that. So I want to make sure I go ahead and reschedule these and put these on a new day. So I'm also taking into account just the random life things that we don't always think to put on our calendar. So like on Sunday, I'm driving back to Charlotte. On my way here, it's supposed to take 8 hours, but there was some standstill traffic. So I was actually driving for about 10 hours. So I'm going to give this 8 hours of time, and I'm going to add that to my to-do list for Sunday. Then tomorrow, I actually worked on my video scripting and my video scripting today, but I'm not completely finished. So I'm gonna finish that tomorrow. So these two things are gonna stay as they are. I'm also having breakfast with a friend. And then we're taking my mom shopping. And I'm putting these things on my list because now what I'm going to do when I start creating my schedule, I'm going to drag and drop them on my calendar. Now, the reality is these two things are not going to happen. Oh, I'm not going to make it to the day party because I'm not in Charlotte. These things are going to happen late tomorrow evening. So that's 7 because I'm going to be with my mom most of the day. So that's going to be down here. And then breakfast with my friend is at 8 a.m. So as you can see, you can just drag and drop these things into your calendar. And then you can, change how much time it is. I'm going to say we're probably going to hang out for 2 hours. And then picking up my mom with my sister at 11. I do not think it's going to take us 8 hours to go shopping, but I am going to put that aside until 4:30 because I'm sure we're going to eat breakfast or eat dinner or whatever to do, hang out and make it a day. We're also going to talk about like her life insurance, her will, and all of those things. So we got a full day scheduled. Then on Sunday, dragging and dropping, my goal is to leave by 10 on Sunday so that I can get a full hour's sleep. I'm also going to stop and pull over so that I can watch this gender reveal from my friends in Charlotte. Oh, I just realized there's still a comment in there, so I'm going to go and remove that. Yes, so I'm gonna pull over so that I can watch that gender reveal. And I might be able to set it up on my phone so that I can watch it while I'm driving. But I'm also, because of that, I'm gonna extend this knowing that it might take me an extra hour if I have to stop rather than watch that while I'm going. All right, so then now I'm getting into my planning for Monday. Now, I know that today I want to spend some time updating my time and energy budget. So I know that I'm going to have to make some tweaks to this once I get everything done. But I have a general understanding that next week I'm going to update my time and energy budget, that I'm doing the things for my personal life and my business in the morning because that's when I do deep work very well. And then in the afternoon, I'm going to do the contract work that I do in the afternoon. And then I'm going to probably have a little bit of follow-up with some of the work that I do in the evening. at least next week is going to be a little crazy, especially because I'm going to be off on Friday for my birthday. So next week's work is going to be really compressed. So that's what I want to account for as I'm creating my schedule for next week. And I'm doing that the same way I did the things from yesterday. So I'm dragging and dropping it into my calendar so that I can time block how I'm going to spend my time. Okay. So there's that. This is probably only going to take around this. This is deleted right now until I get my new treadmill. Keys up the classes and couple things I had pushed off. They're still important, but they're not important enough to be this week since it's already going to be a condensed week. So I'm going to move these to next week. Let me just make sure. Okay, good. Internet is still working. I'm going to move this to next week. I need to do video editing on Monday. I'm going to move this to next week. I really want to work on these reels and things. So I'm going to, this is only 10 minutes, but I'm still going to do it. Let's work on these first. I'm actually going to work on this a couple times this week. So remove from calendar. I'm going to put those here because I have these. I want to move them to Monday because they are, let me see. I want to try and get these done today. Yes. Okay, this is from last week, so I'm going to put this here as well. Maybe I can do both of those together. Let me see. Make sure you guys don't have any questions. I got so many things on this page. Okay, here we go. Actually, let's move this. There we go. All right. with that. I don't need to post that twice a week. I'm just gonna do it on Thursday, not on Tuesday.
That's so nasty. That's so nasty.
I'll just check if you got any thoughts, comments. Don't hesitate to put them in the chat. I am still checking. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep planning. Yes. Okay. I give myself quite a bit of a grace on Thursday because I'm always trying to, if there's anything that I overbooked from the beginning of the week, I'm catching up on with it on Thursday. And then Friday is my birthday. Now we have just about 1 minute left. I should say that even though I know next week is my birthday, I am still going to show up for this particular call, and it's going to be more of a celebration. I'm not going to be doing a whole bunch of planning. It's not going to be a full hour. This is going to be one of those times where you go back and you use either this week's call or the week before's call to do your weekly planning, but I want to still show up for you and celebrate my win of making it around the sun the 40th time. So just a heads up for next week. And as you can see, I'm just about done with scheduling my week. And Santama has made it super easy for me. I'm gonna do that day. I'm gonna do that this day as well. Delete that. Delete that. We'll do that on Saturday as well. So not so much is gonna be happening on Friday. Cole is asleep in a little bit. I will need it after this week of being crazy. Let's go ahead and drag and drop this on Friday. It's gonna be the main thing that I do next Friday, and then shut down and start up. So I got one good chunk next week. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the music. I hope that you did all of your planning for the week. I hope you got it all in your schedule for now. And please give yourself grace and know anytime we set our schedule up for the week, this is not that it's set in stone. This is having a good idea of what we would like to get accomplished. And if for some reason we don't get it accomplished, it's so we have a list of things to know how to replan them or reschedule them for another time. And we don't have to worry about, what did I forget? What did I miss? Have I lost track of things? We haven't, because we had this from the beginning. And so we know when we don't get things done. And it sets us up to keep winning, to moving forward, to adjusting and being able to adapt without starting from scratch. Because we know what we had set ourselves out to do, what we didn't do, and what we did do. Okay, so have so much grace and freedom in that. Okay. All right, so let me see. There's a comment here. Woohoo! I can't believe you're still showing up for your birthday, but I'm glad that you won't be working. Bring on the festivities. Yes, bring on all the festivities. You know, I got my birthday trip is actually planned for May instead of March, just because my birthday is around my birthday is like spring break week. And so all of my favorite places are crazy expensive this week. And as a low budget traveler, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. You know what happened? I had booked it for last week, or the trip was supposed to be this week. And the same flights that I was going to get for this week were economy, but booking them in May, I was able to get first class flights for the same price. So you see why I booked my trip in May rather than pushing myself to do it in March, because I'm getting way better flights and the trip is going to be great. There was more availability on where I wanted to go. We're staying out of me and a friend are going to Cozumel for all-inclusive vacation. So I'm super excited about that. So yes, this week it's okay if it's not the most festivities, but I will have some things going on. I also have a friend coming to visit me this weekend and the next couple days. And then next week, I am going away on a weekend trip to Detroit. I'll still be on the call though. Again, the beauty of being able to workation anywhere. And I want to be able to connect with you guys. I think showing how bopping around is in real life, reality versus, what we think it is really important. So I love being able to show up when I go to all of these different places. So yeah, that week I'll be in Detroit and I'm going there to dance. So I will be dancing for 4 days straight. I'm probably going to be sore by the time I get home and I'm going to love every single bit of it. So those are the things that I have planned for my birthday, all of the festivities. That being said, now it's time for us to move into all of this is my favorite part, but this is really my favorite part because now it's time to start winding down. Okay. Oh, Meg, you're in Detroit. Yes, I am gonna be in Detroit. I get to Detroit the night of the 27th, and I leave on the 31st of March. And I don't know exactly where I'm gonna be. I have to look it up. But I'm gonna be dancing that whole weekend. So let's try and meet up. That'd be fun to get coffee. I tried to meet up with Mimi too. We're gonna make it happen, Mimi. Don't you worry. We're gonna do that. But yes, Meg, I would love for us to try to get some coffee if we get a chance, okay? Oh, if you can, send me a message on IG. Because there's I kind of hate that there's no way to do a direct conversation on YouTube, but it's okay. We got another option. All right. So yes, I'm gonna be in Detroit. So winding down for the week. So here's the first thing that we want to do to start winding down. Take one last check. Go and look at the schedule that you just set up for next week and make sure that you've put in time for fun. I don't know if you noticed, but I have some pre-scheduled fun, some routine fun already scheduled in my calendar. I go dance a kizomba on Mondays. I go step in dancing on Thursdays. I have a bi-weekly call with one of my best friends that lives in Denver. We are doing a call on Wednesday night. We do it every other Wednesday night. I set in those ways for me to connect and have fun and laugh with my favorite people on a regular basis. This is a part of having a system to work-life balance. So make sure you've got that scheduled in there. I got time for daydreaming. Lunch breaks are always my daydreaming time because it never takes me the full time to do that. In the morning when I wake up, I love a slow start to the morning. That's why my morning routine doesn't start until 7:30. All of those people that say get up at 5 a.m. lies. Lies. Not everybody needs to be up at 5 a.m. to be productive. If you know that when you first wake up is your most productive time, you don't have to get up at 5 a.m. to be productive. Just use your most productive time to do the most productive things. But okay, I'm done. That was my rant for today. So yes, make sure you're scheduling in time for rest and fun and allowing yourself to do what's going to best serve you rather than doing things that you feel like you should do. There's no one thing that you should do except be you. Okay? All right. So make sure you're taking a second to do that. Oh, Meg said that's dope. I'll follow you on IG. I'll DM you. Love it. Yes. Let's try to connect. I would love that so much. Okay. So now that you have done one last check on your schedule to make sure you've scheduled in fun and rest, now it's time to start winding down. The first thing, wind down step number 1, close a couple windows on your computer. Now, if you still got the rest of your workday, you might not close them right now, but I want you to go ahead and look at all the windows that you have on your computer. What windows will you be able to close by the end of the day? Will you just be able to just shut the thing off completely? Girl, if you could do that, you are winning. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not there yet. When I get there, we need to do an extra celebration that day. But at least start with just closing down a couple windows, okay? Because when you give that space on your laptop, it's giving that space to your mind too. I have seen it, I've felt it. Try it out. Let me know how it feels for you, okay? Then wind down step number 2, take yourself to dinner or eat a meal that feels like a treat for you. So I am going to be doing this even though I don't know exactly where I'm going today. So I am going to be hanging out with my nephew for a little bit this evening. as soon as he gets off of work. So it's going to be early evening, hopefully about like 4:35. We're going to go hang out. We'll probably get something to eat. And then after that, I'm going to go hang out with my mom. We're doing some decorating, putting up, she has an Africa wall. I'm her only child that's half African. So she likes to put me on the African wall. So she has all of her African artwork, and then she puts my pictures on that wall, and then she puts everybody else's pictures on a different wall, which is her thing. So I'm gonna help her set all of that up. So I'll be doing that tonight. So that is my step 2 and step 3. Step 2 is to take yourself to dinner that you don't usually have. I'm definitely gonna do that with my nephew. And then step 3 is to do something out of the ordinary that's fun. And that's gonna be for me decorating with my mom on the Africa wall. Yes, I don't know why my mom has that. Girl, it is funny, Mimi. She told me that yesterday, and I was like, Lord, my mom is getting old. Other people would say that's not very politically correct, but I know she has the best of intentions with it. So I'm rolling with it. So, yes. So those are the things that I'm going to be doing this evening. What are you guys doing this evening? What are you doing for fun? What's the fun meal that you think you're going to do? Maybe you'll cook yourself or you'll go out to dinner. What's the fun thing that you want to do that's different? Are you doing some decorating? Are you going to a festival tonight? Are you just getting out the house because it's a little bit warmer outside? You know, I completely do that too. Let me know what those things are. So while you're getting those things in the chat, I want to give you a little bit more information about some of the resources that I told you earlier. And actually one that I've never talked to you guys about. And you have to forgive me, I didn't get my slides set up and I kind of just forgot with all the things moving around. But I wanted to tell you about my free webinar. And here's why I wanted to tell you. I do a full program, a 6-month coaching program that's all about helping us move out of this work life, or out of this workaholism kind of phase, and moving and detoxing that and moving to this place where we can work less and live more, create that work-life balance, and have the lifestyle freedom that we've been talking about, so that we can actually show up and have the space, the money, the time, the energy, the freedoms that we need to live the life that we want. And so I have a webinar where I show you that exact process from beginning and end, and beginning to end, and it's free. Like, I am so passionate about seeing us Black women be able to create that lifestyle. I want you to have it. So that webinar is called How to Work Less and Live More. I like to keep it simple. And here's the caveat to that. How to work less and live more without being a millionaire. Because, and Mimi, you did such a great job on this video, because you said, you felt disqualified from traveling and doing some of your dreams because you weren't rich. But here's the thing. A lot of us have been able to create that lifestyle without being rich, without being a millionaire. And so that's exactly why I created this webinar, to show you how I did it, so that you could pull whatever you want from that and use it too. And then I offer a free workaholic exit plan call, where we get on the call and we take that plan and we make it personalized to you. And then if we're on the call and you're like, you know what? I think I just want you to help me do all of this. That's cool too. If it's a good fit for both of us, we could talk about what it looks like for us to work together in that program. That program is called Meant for More. But the webinar is free. You could take advantage of the webinar. You could take advantage of the workaholic exit plan call. Both of those are free. And I want to make sure you know about those, because those are really the next step to what we've been doing here today. So, and the beautiful thing about Meant for More, if you get Meant for More, you automatically get the Anti-Superhero Toolkit for free. It's included. You get the Workaholic Exit Plan call. It's included. All of those things. So make sure you take advantage of that webinar. So if you want to check out that webinar, it's at webinar.yourdreamstrategist.com. Okay. Webinar.yourdreamstrategist.com. The webinar is called How to Work Less and Live More Without Being a Millionaire. It's showing you the exact process that I lived. And so go ahead and check it out, and then we could talk about it from there. Okay. So, yes, there's a couple comments. Let me go ahead and share those. So my plan was to go ballroom dance, well, Lord, let me talk. My plan was to go to a ballroom dance party, but there's a storm coming through tonight, so I may be staying in the house. That is sad, and I want you to stay safe. So I'm glad that we're finding the happy medium. Oh, it is sad to be missing a party. Hopefully, maybe the storm will blow over, but it might even be too late to find out. So I just watched your last video where you said you had hobby overload. So maybe this is Jesus telling you to go take a break, girl. I don't know. You tell me. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm not putting words in Jesus's mouth either. But it sounds like it might be a good chance to maybe do a little ballroom at home, watch a movie, eat some popcorn, and save the ballroom for another day. But yes, I'm so glad that you're going to stay safe. And then the other one says, "Oh wow, I would love that webinar." Yes, please take advantage. Again, the website webinar.yourdreamstrategist.com, completely free. How to work less and live more without being a millionaire. So go ahead and check that out. Okay. So yes, I love that. I love that. And then this says, for real, this feels like a message because Lord knows I would be there. You know what? I understand. It's sometimes if Jesus don't knock me down, I don't sit down. So I completely understand. And I don't even feel bad for Jesus telling me I don't even feel bad for Jesus knocking me down because he knows that's the only way. And I know that's the only way that I was going to sit down. So I don't even get mad. I say, okay, Jesus, I heard you. So go ahead and listen to Jesus. Okay, sit down. That was such a good video though. Yes. And please make sure I gotta get I'm gonna message you in the community, Mimi, because I want to get your channel's email. Somehow I miss it trying to write my notes. So we could do a collab. I want to talk about your big leap on this channel. I think that's gonna be a good video for us to collab on. So I can't wait for us to do that. Okay, so then Meg P says, I'm going to catch up on the shows. I'm going to catch up on my shows while I eat lunch, then DM you and sign up for the webinar. Come on. That sounds like a good day. Taking some time to rest, eating some good food, watching a couple things to de-stress your life, and then DM me and sign up for the webinar. I love it. I can't wait. Go ahead, girl. Don't even wait. Go ahead and enjoy that. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, good. Right. You know, it's real easy. I got to be knocked over in order to get myself to sit myself down. And then you said, heck yeah, I'd love to. Yay, I'm glad. I would love to do that collab. I think it's going to be a great video. And I love where you are in your journey. I love all the things that you're passionate about. I can't wait to talk about every single one of them. So I'm so glad that you're interested in that. So I'm going to leave you with that today. Go ahead and check out the webinar. It's at webinar.yourdreamstrategist.com. And, start winding down. Eat your lunch. Check out the DMs. Check out the webinar. Let's connect. I enjoyed you today. We had such a great conversation. I'm so glad that so many of you were able to join. Listen, I obviously can't talk today. It's because I'm hungry too. I was so glad that so many of you were able to join. I enjoyed you. I look forward to getting with you next week for my birthday. And if you need anything, head over to @yourdreamstrategist, my Instagram. Let's talk in the DMs. I'm happy to share whatever I got. And then I will see you next week. Oh, listen, and Meg P said, I'm also child free, so I'm going to check out your channel. Yes, I'm child free too, girl. Come on with the child free life. And come on for Mimi leading us and giving us the freedom to not feel like we have to have children, because children are a lot of work. I love them, but I raised a couple children while I was still a child. And I don't think I want to do that as an adult. So that's a whole nother topic. But yes, thank you for leading us. Go make sure you follow her. She's amazing. Thanks, Rashida. Looking forward to celebrating your birthday next week. Yay! I'm looking forward to it too. And I'm so glad that you guys are going to both connect. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. And I'll see you next week.